My name's Brandon. I lost my job a week ago, and within 6 days, I collected $4,500 cash.
All right, guys, editor Luis here. And actually, Brendan sent me a message later that day that he had actually closed a $3K deal. So he actually did $7,500 in 8 days, which is pretty awesome. And I just want to let you guys know that he's crushing it. Let's get back to the video. Yo, what's going on, man? Super pumped to have you on the YouTube channel, dude. Welcome. I'm just like super pumped for the results that you've been getting, dude. So real quick, let's just do a quick introduction. Tell the audience a little bit about, who you are, your background, the type of business that you have, who do you work with, and then we'll dive right in, dude.
Exactly. I'm Brandon McDonough. So I'm the owner of BRM Media, and we are a content agency originally, but we transitioned to the content plus ad structure after working with you. And it's been a blessing for my business. But we work with people, we really don't have one niche, but the real estate industry has been very profitable for us in the last year. So we're kind of continuing down that path.
Nice, dude. Sweet, bro. I guess so. Okay. So you've obviously done quite well for yourself, but let's take us back to the beginning, right? I think when we first started working together, we really kind of sat down, looked at your offer, looked at what, what you were charging. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what those changes looked like when we first started working together.
Yeah. So before we started working together, I was following a lot of other coaches and consultants on Instagram. Everybody's preaching personal brand. So I tried implementing that myself, and I had some success, just posting some videos of me talking to the camera. And I was getting some gigs here and there. I tried running an ad, I boosted a post, and it went well. I didn't close too many deals from it. And then, it kind of just put me in a position where I said, all right, I need to make change. So my biggest discrepancy with hiring a consultant or coach in the industry is that nobody still has an agency, right? So when I went to your page, right, we had some dialogue back and forth, and I reached out to you. I saw that you still had your agency. So there, that was proof of concept for me that, I could trust you. And, when it all started at the time before we connected, I was charging maybe $500 for a lot of video content, and it just wasn't enough. It didn't make any sense. And, I think in the first week we just restructured my offer, and, this was history.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I recall there was one project where you were like, oh, I did 10 video or 8 videos. It was $800, $100 a video. And I'm like, dude, we need to raise your prices, bro. So you were doing a lot of content agency, more of a content agency. You were doing a lot of short form content for these real estate companies. You're doing a lot of work in Florida, but you're originally from is it Philadelphia?
Yep, Philadelphia, correct.
Yeah, okay. So you're flying down on the weekends. You're shooting content for this, fancy real estate agents in Miami, which is awesome. Yep. But I was like, dude, you're providing a lot of value. You're doing some really cool stuff because your videos are legit. $800, dude. We need to double that if not more, ASAP, right? And so so that was really cool that you implemented that. I guess just to kind of touch on a little bit more as to because I know when we first started working together, you were a little on the fence about working with me. I know you said, okay, this guy still has his agency. Was there something else that you were okay, maybe I should work with this guy because I know you were a little on the fence?
I can tell that you were doing it, that you've been in the marketing space for a while. And that alone meant a lot to me because I knew, delivering videos to my clients was great, but I wanted to be able to increase the retention of my clients. So I knew if I could deliver a real result, whether it be generating real leads with contact information, etc., I would be able to do that. But the only way I was going to learn how to do that was by learning how to run ads the right way. So, I did the logical thing. I hired a mentor, I hired you, and you just really changed my entire business because you knew what you were doing. You've been in the industry, man. And then you taught me ads, how to run them, how to retarget, how to do the whole 9 yards. And then I quickly implemented that for my business as well.
Okay, so when we talk about running ads, there's two aspects to it, right? Like one is running ads for yourself so that you can bring on clients, and then the other aspect is running ads for your clients. And so one of the things that we help Brandon do right off the bat is like, hey man, like if you want to keep your clients for longer, you have to help them get a result, right? It's not like video is just one piece of the puzzle. Like you have to help them with ads, and then lead nurture is like another good aspect to it. That, and if you combine all three, you can really help your clients get a good result. So you were already like pretty good at running ads for yourself. Like I remember when we sat down, I'm like, dude, what is your cost of acquisition again? Like like I was like blown away. I think you were getting clients for like $50 or something like that. It was like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, like we could scale this to the moon. And by the way, like you were doing this part-time because at that time you still had your job, right?
Correct.
And I remember saying, dude, like if you really wanted to blow this up, you totally could. You just need to get the product now, right? And if you can productize the offer, right, then it's just rinse and repeat. You can bring on clients like that, you know? And so that was the first thing that we looked at, like, let's improve let's productize what you're doing. And so that's where it's like, okay, how do I help my clients get a better result, right? And so talk to us a little bit about, like, because I know one thing that some videographers get hung up on is like, dude, like running ads is like complicated. I've never done it before. You know, what was that experience like for you, like learning that? And then I know you were a bit nervous that first time we were going to turn on the ad, dude. I still remember, for your client. Talk to us about that. Take us back in time.
Yeah, man. So when I first started, so I knew I needed to run ads ultimately, right? And I was like, okay, I can go on Instagram, click boost. That was fine. Like I had some results, but I knew there was another level to it. Obviously, we connected. So I started running ads for myself, like after like I joined the program. And then, you know, I was just getting book calls at such a cheap rate. I think it was like literally like $30 for a book call. And then it was just insane. Like it was a great time. Ultimately, I think, you know, after I did launch the ads for myself, it was like within the first 2 weeks of working with you, I onboarded 3 clients. So that was huge.
That was like what, like $5,500 or something like that?
Yeah, it was like $5,500. It was literally within like probably less than like 10 days. Like I was pumped up because I made the money back working with you for the most part. I was like, all right, this is good right here.
For sure.
And then after that, you know, those were the first initial clients I was running ads for. So I was a little hesitant. I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't really know how to do this. But like we quickly linked up. You showed me like everything. Like we hopped on Zoom calls. You showed me exactly how to do it. And then after you showed me, I was like, oh, that's it? Like it's that easy? You were like, yeah, man. I was like, wait, so you've been running ads for the last like 3-4 years or whatever for your clients, and you've been making like decent money. He's like, yeah. And after that, that's when everything changed, bro. And I was like, all right, this is something I need to do long term. I'm still going to do content because I have a passion for that, and I do believe in having a personal brand. But you know, once you learn how to run ads, like that changes the game not only for yourself but for your clients too. And we honestly delivered great results for our current clients too.
Yeah, I remember like that one client, you got them like 40 or 50 leads in like a month or something like that, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it was like 40 leads in 2 weeks.
Dude.
And they were all qualified too. It was a lead form. We had the questions built in there, and like it was sick. So she was really happy with the result.
Dude, that's so amazing. And that's what I'm saying, right? It's like there's 2 key things here. One is like people don't realize how much less work it is. Like I have a YouTube video that says how to get retainer clients by working less. And so, because the reality is like, dude, video production is pretty time and labor intensive, right? Like you're doing all this pre-production, you're traveling, you're coordinating with the client, you're doing production, you're doing post-production, right? It's a lot of work, dude. And it's really hard to scale that if you're, you know, especially, you know, like if you're not, even if you're charging a lot, like it's hard to scale because it's just a lot of work. And dude, I have guys that are, you know, that do it very consistently, and they're like, dude, it's already taking a toll on my body. Like, you know, I don't know how it was for you, man, because you're not only, you know, like, you know, traveling across the city, you were traveling across a few different states, man. So how was that experience like having to fly, you know, to do the work? Was that like pretty like intensive on you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely intensive because, you know, you have to pay for the cost of travel, etc. So you kind of have to build that into the price point. So that was just always like a hurdle I had to get over every single time. I mean, I was flying to like Miami So that's
Yeah.
like cool in itself. So it's a vacation every single time I had a gig. So that's dope. But beside that, yeah, it's extremely challenging. And honestly, it narrowed me in too, because, you know, when you're shooting content, you can't travel all across the country consistently, right? Like that's not possible. There's only so many of your ideal client in your area. So the way to really tap into the market is to kind of go broad and just have a service that you can do from your house, from your studio, from your office, etc., whatever it may be. And ultimately, you know, now I can literally, you know, be in Pennsylvania, have clients in Miami, have clients in California, and run ads for them and deliver a great product.
Okay, so one of the things that I talk about that I teach, right, is like the evolution of your content agency, right? Like step number one is like you're doing all the content yourself for the clients. Step number two, if you want to, you know, become more efficient, is like you identify what works, what scripts work, right? Like the ones that actually get your clients a result. And then the next step is like, just give those scripts to your client, have them film it. You do the post-production, right? You do all the editing and then run that as ads. Have you already implemented that step or not yet?
Yeah, so we actually just onboarded a client 2 days ago.
Nice.
And that's exactly, he already has a personal brand. He's comfortable. He's all over TikTok. So he's a realtor. And I said, look, man, I have the proven script. Like this works. I want to provide you with the script. You film the videos. I'll edit them if need be. If not, you know, I'll put you with an editor and, you know, you create your own videos. But ultimately, what I'm going to do for you is run the ads. And we're going to get leads going. The only thing that you have to do is follow this script that we know that works for the proven ad. So I think it was like a buyer campaign and a seller campaign ad that we did for our previous client that worked out really well. So for this client coming up, we'll just be doing the same thing, but I don't have to travel anywhere. That's the most amazing part about it.
Dude, yes. Okay. So like less travel. And then on top, so it's like less work on your end because you're having to less travel. You're not having to, like, oftentimes too, when you go and film, you usually get like a second person, right? That oftentimes you have to pay, right? So you're like, you're less profitable. Now you're more profitable, right? And then the third benefit is that you don't have to constrict yourself to a geographical area. You can bring on clients from all over and offer this model. And so it's like less time on your end. It's way more profitable, right? And you're just like doing it. You have like time, location, freedom, right? Which is so awesome, dude. Yeah, man. Like, how did it feel when you first turned on that ad campaign and you actually started seeing leads coming through for your client, dude?
Man, I was so relieved. You have no idea. You already know I was a little nervous. So I remember you're like, yo, did you turn on the ads yet? I'm like, I'm getting there. And then finally, I think we had a one-on-one together. And you're like, bro, click the turn on button, turn the ads on. Turn the ads on. I shit you not. Within 48 hours, we had literally like 5 leads come in the pipeline. And and I hit up my client. I'm like, yo, 5 leads are here. Follow up with them. Just do what you can do. And she was just so happy. And like, I felt confident in my product. And that just changes everything. Like once you know what works, then you can replicate it and you can scale. And ultimately that first campaign, that just changed the game for me because now I know I can help anybody that's in the real estate industry that is looking for buyer and seller leads on a consistent basis. I can deliver that. I have the formula. I know the ad copy that works. I know the creative that works. And, we can make it happen. So ultimately, man, that first ad was a game changer for my business. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Like, I just love seeing the confidence that you have in the product now. And like, cause it's hard to quantify, but it's just so important because sales is just a transfer of energy. And I love seeing now how you're just like so confident talking about it, like in your own content and your stories and stuff like that too. And then one of the changes that I've always seen when people actually shift the messaging from, hey, I'm going to help you just make videos to, hey, I'm going to help you make videos so that you can actually grow your business. I'm going to back it up with a strategy to grow your business. How all of a sudden that obviously just resonates a lot more because that's what people want. People just want a way to grow their business, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like they get an uptick in demand, people that are interested in their services because of that. Like, how has that been like for you? Because I know now you're like everything now you're talking about content and ads. Like, what has that engagement been from your audience and people wanting to talk to you?
What I'll say, it brings the people that I hate to say this, but are actually serious and have money. Like it brings those type of clients because when you're just pushing content, there's a lot of people that have tons of followers, but they're not making a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So they'll be willing to invest with you on the content side. However, they're not too worried about getting a result on the back end, right?
Yeah.
But when you are selling lead gen, right? You're selling a result. That's when you have the business owners and the top people in whatever market it is come to you, because now you're actually going to put money in their pocket, and they understand that. They're not looking at it as, oh, I want to become an influencer, I want to become the biggest person on social media. They're like, no, I want dollars in my bank account. And if your messaging is right, which mine is right now, people will come to you naturally, through your organic content and your ads that are serious about making money for their business. And the fact that I was able to run a few campaigns for other clients and I did that for them, that put me in a position where I can confidently say to them every single time, yeah, let's hop on this call. I'll give you the demo, and I promise you, you're going to have a result after this, at the end of this transaction.
I remember when you took our demo presentation and you adjusted it for like your own brand and clientele and stuff like that. I remember you put a chart there where it was like every other videographer and like me. And then where you were just like, every other videographer just makes content, like I'm helping you make money. I was like,
literally, I just went in, I said, look, the videographers, I was like, they're going to show up. They're not going to direct you. They have no idea what it's like to be on camera, in front of the camera. They have no idea how to run ads. They don't know how to like put money into your business, help you make money. And then I just kind of just showed the contrast between the two. And it's like, look, this is what you're getting when you work with my company versus a videographer. And that slide right there, I mean, I recommend any other content agency out there or marketing ad agency to like kind of implement that, just because once people see the contrast, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, all right, I'm going to get stellar video content, but I'm also going to get help on the back end with my ads, and I'm also going to make more money. It's like, why wouldn't we work with that person that's going to deliver way more than a videographer?
100%, dude. So spot on. Okay. So we talked about the product, the adjustments we made to the product, and how, obviously you gained a ton of confidence. You were able to sell that. That's what people want. Talk to a little, like, let's transition now to like you getting clients, right? And so we knew right off the bat, like you were already attracting, like, you were running ads for yourself. You were getting clients. You said it was like cost of acquisition was like $30, right? Or something like that. Like, tell us about this last time. You just started running ads again, since you lost your job. Like, how much money have you put in? How much money have you garnered now?
Oh, it's crazy. $230 on ad spend, 4,500 collected. And this is within 6 days. No lie. That's what happens when you lose your job. You don't have a choice. And I had a really good job, man. I was making like, multiple six figures, like working in biotech. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a choice. I got laid off. I was like, I have to make something happen. So thank God we connected, over the summer, and you taught me everything you taught me, because it put me in a position to just be able to hit the ground running. But yeah, man, like getting clients really isn't the hard part anymore, because one, I have a personal brand, follow my page, VR Media. And then beyond that, it's just, the ads that I run, there's good messaging. And you helped me with the messaging on my ads. And that structure that you basically taught me is what, I use, and it works. So
yeah, dude, messaging, like a lot of people talk a lot about offers, and offers being the most important thing. The thing about offers is that everybody can have the same offer, right? Like there is no differentiator when it comes to that. The real work where like somebody chooses you versus someone else, which is your value proposition, like that is where messaging comes in. And a lot of people don't talk about messaging that much. They don't put a lot of emphasis on it, but it is the game changer. And like once you do get it on brand, like and on point, that's where all of a sudden like you can just blow up, because you understand what people, what they want and what they don't want, and then you understand their pains, wants, frustrations, and desires. And if you can speak to that and you can understand them, then that's how you get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's all businesses want, right? They want to work with somebody that they can trust, because business fundamentals, right? We do business with people we know, we like, and we trust, hands down, right? Okay, so let's break down the numbers here a little bit. So you spent $230. How many clients? You made 45, but like, what was how many? That was 3 clients, right?
Yeah, pretty much 3 clients. Well, 4 clients in total.
Okay, so
3 clients. It's a little over 4,500.
Okay.
Yeah, what is 3 clients for the 45? Yeah.
Gotcha. So that means that every time you're spending $76 on advertising, you got a new client, dude.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
And this is why I love advertising, dude. I'm just gonna harp on this for a little bit, because when I figured out, like, to me, it was a paradigm shift. Like, once I figured out how to spend money to make money to get clients to come to me versus like me having to chase them down, cold calling or DMing or pounding the streets or whatever, that was like a total game changer. And this is why I love it, because the one challenge that every business owner has is, I don't know where my next client's going to come from, right? Like, they don't know, right? And so with advertising, you now have predictability of where it is going to come from, right? So like, now, it's like, dude, every time I want to get a client, all I have to do is spend $76 on ads, and cha-ching, I'll get a new client that's going to come and spend an average of, let's just say $4,500, $1,800 based off your current price point and your offer, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, how crazy is that?
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The
Yeah.
position that I'm in, because I did recently like lose my job. If I didn't know what you just explained and I didn't know how to run ads, I don't know what I would do. Like, I would just be pounding doors, like knocking on everybody's door. Yeah, do you need business? Do you need real estate? Do you need videos? Whatever. But honestly, like, because I already knew when I first joined the program that I was able to, acquire leads at a low cost. As soon as I lost my job, the first day I turned on the ads. Like, it was a no-brainer. Like, I was like, all right, boom, $30 a day. Like, let's get to it. And, do some outreach. I mean, after they follow you, I mean, every follower is a lead at that point. So as long as you're engaging with every single follower that comes into your pipeline, you can pretty much convert or at least book a call with most of them, I would say.
Yeah. And I give you a lot of props, because you already had a solid brand even before we started working together. And like, that's one of the things too that I feel like a lot of people kind of miss, like, and they don't really take advantage of. Like, dude, building a personal brand is so important, and that is like the one thing that's going to help you get a faster result, right? And so that's why I feel like with you, like when you turned on ads, it was really easy for you to bring on clients, get such a low cost of acquisition, because you already had a presence online. A lot of people think they need to have a website or they need to have like a fancy logo or anything. I mean, you did have a logo, but like more than anything, like you just had a really good Instagram account with some really good content where you're in front of the camera and you look legit. Like, you look very professional. The editing looks like on point. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what's kind of like your thoughts behind like the importance of building a brand and what that's been like?
I think so. I always preach it on my Instagram page, like having a personal brand is everything, because not only does it build the trust when the lead comes in the pipeline, it kind of like pre-sells. Because, if I have a good personal brand and good messaging on my page, when I get on the call with that client, they already know what I'm about. So they're already like 50% sold. I typically just have to show them some proof, and then they're right there to close the deal. But honestly, having a personal brand is huge. Like, you have to get in front of the camera. You have to speak on camera. Like, if you're afraid to do that, you can't really build your brand, because people buy from people. So if somebody trusts you, they need to know what you sound like, what your messaging is, and what you're all about. Are you professional? Are you not? Etc. And I think like on my page, I really do focus on that. So, I spend time every week creating content for myself, and I do what I can do. I mean, I had a job before, so I couldn't crank out like 3 videos a day, but now, I'm full time doing this. So, I just stay tuned, because there's gonna be like a lot more content that I'll be posting consistently.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so last question, or like last two, right? So it's like, talk to me a little bit about, because I remember like early on, I'm just like, dude, like, quit your job. like I was saying, like, dude, you already have a proven formula. Like, every time you're spending $80 on ads, you're bringing on clients. So like, if you really wanted to scale this thing, all you have to do is just spend more money on ads. Like, that's it, But like, what was kind of like holding you back, because I know a lot of people are in your shoes. Like, they work part-time, they want to quit their jobs and they want to go all in on videography. But like, what would you say is like, I would love for you to talk about that, because I feel like you can help a lot of people just sharing your story.
Yeah, I'll say it's definitely scary to take the transition. Like, I was put in a position where I didn't really have a choice. But as I had my job, the one piece of advice I would recommend anybody to do is hire a mentor or a coach that's going to teach you how to run ads, and get your brand together and have a better offer. Because at least you'll have that knowledge. So when you're ready to make the transition to go full-time in your business, you can do it the right way. Like if we didn't connect and I didn't invest my money to work with you, then I probably wouldn't have been in a position that I am now, where I was able to make my bi-weekly paycheck, within 6 days of me not having a job. So anybody that's like in that scenario, you want to stay consistent. Keep the ads rolling regardless, even if it's like, $10 a day, whatever you can afford, because at least you're going to stay relevant online. You're going to have new leads coming in your pipeline, because what you don't want to do is go cold turkey and not run ads at all and not be posting, because everybody will forget about you. You're not going to have any leads. And then you're going to get back in the mindset of working like the 9 to 5. Oh, this is my only way to make money. I want to build my business, but I don't have the time to. But at the end of the day, you just have to get to it. Keep the ads rolling. When you see the followers come in, you see the leads come in, you have to act on it. Once you start acting on it, you close your first deal, you'll feel good about it. It gives you more confidence to step away from your job. And I would just say, keep doing that until you're in a position where you can quit your job. And then, once you know your cost of acquisition and, you've scaled a little bit to a decent point where you can support your bills, it's worth it just to quit. Like, I'm happy that I'm in this situation because I know I'm going to scale so hard up until March, to the point where like, I'll probably cover my salary that I had at my previous job.
For sure. Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, honestly, you could raise your prices a little bit more because your cost of acquisition is so low that you could afford to raise your prices, and then maybe your cost of acquisition will go up a little bit, but you're going to be way more profitable, and you'll actually do less work for more money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, like I'm really pumped because like getting to 10K at 2K a month, like that's just 5 clients. If you're doing 2,500, that's 4 clients, right? And so once you start actually reverse engineering growth, like think about your goal, think about your price point, and then it's like, okay, how many clients do I need to get there? That's it, and then now, and you actually have a system in place that gives you predictability on how to get there, which a lot of people have no clue, right? Like, and so you're in a very unique position where I think you could, you could blow up, you get to 20K, 30K, dude, like probably here in the next, like there's no reason why you couldn't hit that number in the next 3 to 6 months. Like, I'm 100% confident that is. And like the one thing that I always tell people is like, don't get distracted. Like don't, like all it is getting to 20 or 30K or just making more money. I had a guy ask me this on a call the other day. It's like, it's like, oh man, how do you actually hit these bigger numbers? I'm like, you just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And so the thing is that like, once you have, and this is why everybody talks about having like a productized offer. A productized offer just simply means a thing that you sell that you're doing the same steps over and over and over again. Like you're not reinventing the wheel. You're not doing something new or custom every single time. And the reason, and that's why it's called productized, right? Yeah. Think of like your business as a factory. And so there's a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and that's how it gets done every single time, right? So when you have a product like that, that's when then you can hire people that can fulfill on that, so that you as the business owner, you are always selling. Like you don't stop selling, right? You're always running ads, you're always doing sales. And so once you have those two things into play, well then getting to scaling, right? Getting to 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever. It's just, again, that's what I mean by doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's that easy. The one thing as entrepreneurs that we need to be like very cautious of is new shiny object syndrome. Because like we see something new, or like we think that we need to do this instead. It's like, no, dude, all you have to do is improve the product, make the product better, but just keep doing sales, and then it's just rinse and repeat. And that's like all it is,
Exactly.
Sweet, man. Like, I mean, this has been great. I guess, like, is there anything else that you would want to kind of like share as far as like advice for anybody just kind of starting off, or like is in those stages? I think in your particular situation, like working part-time and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. What other advice would you like give anybody in that situation?
Yeah, I would say, anybody that has a 9 to 5 that's trying to make it work, just honestly follow your dreams, have the passion, but you have to have the numbers to support it. Like that's huge. So if you have the numbers and you have the skill set, it instills confidence within yourself to where when you don't have that job, you can still make it happen. And honestly, I feel like I'm on the path to do like great things right now. I mean, out of the 4,500, cash collected in the last 6 days, I'm definitely going to at least take 500 of that, reinvest it back on my ad spend on top of the 230, and we'll see where that takes me next month. But yeah, I would just say, just all comes down to like, honestly, bro, like running ads. Like that's just what I think. Like if you can run ads like for yourself and for your clients, then you can just make it happen. Because if you're not running ads for yourself, then it's like, how do you get leads? It's like referrals, like, yeah, that works, but then it takes time. You have to really have a lot of testimonials, etc. It's not even worth it. It's not even like a tangible thing where you can really say, I'm going to make X amount of money this year, because you don't know. You could have a bad experience with a client, then you lose all your referrals that you once had.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to that. You need to have new leads coming in your pipeline consistently.
I always say it's like, you're either going to pay with time or you're going to pay with money, right? It's like you decide, right? And so time and effort, like, do you want to be pounding the streets, cold calling, networking, doing all that stuff? Or would you rather just have leverage your like money to get people to come to you, which is a night and day difference, right? Especially if you're an introvert. I'm an introvert. When I figured that out, I was like, I'm happy now. Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
Sweet, dude. And then, so I guess last question before we leave off, right? Typical. It's like, anybody on the fence to joining the program, bringing on a mentor. I think that was the one thing too, where I told him, like, dude, this is not a coaching program. It's not just a course. Like, I'm going to be working with you one-on-one. We're going to be meeting, right? And giving you direction. What would you say anybody who's like thinking about bringing on a mentor is kind of on the fence about it?
Yeah, man, I would say not all mentors are like scams, bro. Like, you need to go ahead and hire a coach, a mentor, whatever, if you want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Like, especially a lot of these young guys that are coming up, like fresh out of high school. It's like, dude, you have the option to go to college, or you can like literally pay somebody maybe $4,000 and just like learn a skill set and set you up for like life. Or at least for the next 5 years until you want to pivot. So yeah, I would recommend anybody to work with you specifically. I mean, dude, I had like no complaints, like at all. And like, I had a lot of sales calls with like a lot of the other people in this space, and I didn't see the trust. Everybody seemed like they were in it just for the money grab. And then some of the guys, like, I already knew like the numbers. I'm not going to say the numbers weren't real, but like, I knew them before they start coaching. Okay. That's just all I'll say. And working with you, it's like, you just you transform my business. And you actually provided me a lot of resources too. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a lot of templates that you gave me, Excel files, etc. That just kind of like, it was like tangible things that like I could go and tweak for myself. Like even the pitch deck that I use, it came from you, right? And like I use your framework. I added what I needed to add, and that kind of changed everything for me. So there's just a lot of value in your program specifically. I'm not going to advocate for anybody else but yours, because I worked with you and I'm a transparent person. So I would definitely say, man, anybody that's on the fence, like, work with Luis. He definitely knows his stuff, man. He knows marketing for sure.
Yeah. Appreciate that, dude. That means a lot. I mean, I think for me, it's like, one of the things that always trips me up is like, obviously you'll get like some hate comments on the ads and stuff like that. So I've gotten people like, oh, this is a scam artist. I'm like, dude, to me, it's hilarious. And you said it spot on, right? Which is like, dude, you know who the real scammers are? The colleges and the universities.
Yeah.
It's like nobody.
I went to college. I went to college. You went to college, and we're saying this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like, oh, we're here stuck. I mean, I don't know if you still you're paying back loans and stuff, but I still have a loan that I'm paying back for college, and it's like, dude, that's the freaking scam. Like, why does nobody like give crap to these like organizations, and instead like come and give crap to us, the people that actually like have experience and have been actually like doing it? They're still doing it, and they're trying to like help other people, right? Yeah. Oh my god, man, that's hilarious. So I appreciate you saying that, because like it like drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's worth it, bro. You need a coach, dog. If you want to go to the next level, you need to hire a mentor or a coach. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, if you take yourself seriously, then you should have a mentor. Like, think about everybody that's successful in life, all the top people, they have mentors. So if your mindset is, I can figure it out myself, I can go on YouTube, I can do this, like, no, bro, you can't. Like, you have some progress, but at the end of the day, you're not really going to get to that next level until you have a mentor. And even, besides like this agency stuff, when I was doing my 9-to-5, I reached a pretty high level in corporate, but I had a mentor. So I I encourage everybody to do that. It's just a mindset that you have to have, and regardless of what you're doing.
That's spot on, dude. All right, man. That's awesome. I won't say anything else. That was a massive mic drop. Thank you so much for saying that. And yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to hearing the news about when you hit those bigger numbers. And I'm really looking forward to it, dude. I know you're going to make it happen.
For
And
sure.
yeah, dude, hopefully we'll bring you on next time you hit some of these other milestone numbers. That'll be cool. You share your experience then.
Most definitely, man. Thanks for having me, man. It was a
Sweet,
pleasure.
sweet, brother. Yeah, man. I'll catch you on the next one.
All
Peace.
right.